but like I don't know, it's weird. But
That
then when
is
you line
weird.
those two things up, usually the rest of the episode is right in sync.
It just works.
It's so
Can't
weird.
complain. Science.
Computers, man. Science and computers. I tell you what.
It works.
All right.
So great. It's a nice switch effect.
Those are my fingers.
Yeah, that sounds actually like a switch. Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to the Nindie Nation podcast, your weekly dose of everything independently developed for the Nintendo Switch. I'm Jeff, and this week, as always, I am joined by the Super Bowl of Nindies MVP, Josh.
It's the final countdown. The
Now I sound like Beavis and Butthead.
Probably why I'm singing that song. No.
So, how you doing this week, Josh?
I'm tired every day now, pretty much. I'm running on fumes. Yeah. Well, that doesn't help, but
sure.
There's big plans coming up, Jeff. So,
you want to share?
Yeah, sure. There's just big changes in my life. Well, in the same career, but new job, and haven't made any big announcements yet, so I won't go there yet. But we've been very busy trying to get stuff sold and a lot of different things around here. And yeah, that's why the episode we missed last week, because I had so much going on. So it might be hit or miss here. But Jeff, you have a good plan going forward for this.
Yeah, so I've tapped a couple of people that may be interested in jumping in over the next maybe month or so. And so don't be surprised if next week or the week following or for a little bit, I am joined by somebody other than Josh. We did not break up. We are not having problems.
We're not having affairs.
We are not having to execute the prenup, and we both get to keep the switches.
No one can match me, I know, but
right,
we got the show must go on, you know.
Right, the show must indeed go on, and Josh will be back if he is away for a brief period of time. But for the uninitiated, Nindie Nation is a weekly podcast where we talk to you about all of the great indie games that we've been playing, what we think you might want to take a look at. And in the second half of the show, as always, we will run through next week's new releases, as well as all of the games currently on sale worth your hard-earned digital dollars. But before we get into that, Josh, why don't you tell me what's been keeping your Joy-Cons synced up this week?
I had some time to play, not very much, and all of these have been out before, but so I own them on the Switch, but I played them on like the Vita or PS4 or somewhere else. And the first one I want to hit on is Ollie Ollie, and this is the Switch Stance version, because this includes not only Ollie Ollie, but Ollie Ollie 2 in one package. And if you are a skateboarding enthusiast and you love combo-driven, pulling off kick flips and grinding, and even rhythm gameplay, then this is the game for you. Because it's like Tony Hawk, but I think it's better, and that they can do so much. Yeah, that they can do so much on a 2D plane is really awesome. So they really enhance the mechanics, and it looks great. I've been playing in handheld mainly, and it's bright, colorful, beautiful animations, and the controls are just so spot on.
Are you using the analog stick, or because it's a lot of buttons and directional input? So do you use the buttons or the stick for it?
I use the stick mainly.
Yeah, I figured you probably would in this one.
Yeah, it's just easier when you grind. You have to push in a certain direction and hold that, and then when you jump, you release the stick. Then when you that's how the combos are driven up. And then when you land, you have to hit is it B or A? You hit one of those buttons to land and if you miss it, then it's like grades you on how well you push it when you land. So you're trying to stay in the air for as long as you can by pushing down on the stick. Then you can do down, then go to the left to do different tricks, like maybe a kickflip or a certain whatever skateboarding tricks they have you can perform. And yeah, it's a cool game. There's so many different scenarios and tracks, and just there's a bunch of
Yeah, it's got
content
like a
on this.
trials level of content in it. Just like
Yeah.
there's so much, and I love how when you complete the levels, it shows you like where you are in that world, or you always have a good idea of how much you have left to go before you finish the level or the
Yeah.
world, or you get to go see a new environment or whatever. And
Right.
so we'll talk on it later, but it comes out next week, Valentine's
Yeah.
Day, right?
Very, very score driven too. So, and like you said, you just get in and out real fast.
Oh yeah.
If you fall, you're just right back into it. And
Yep.
yeah, perfect. One of those games you can just pick up, play no matter where you are. So it's really cool.
And both games are $15, right?
Yeah,
Total.
yeah, $50, or
It's a
you can
great
just buy
deal.
it as a pet. Yeah, it's worth every cent because it includes all the extra content and everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. What else?
And then I've been playing Sword and Soldiers, and this is
Cool.
through the Nintendo Village. So thank you, Nintendo Village. And yeah, this one sort of took me by surprise. I was actually fairly impressed with it. It's by two tribes, and this game actually came out for, I think, the DS, and then it came out for the 3DS, and then the Wii U. An HD port was for the Wii U. And so it's already been around for a while. And
Mm-hmm.
there's Sword and Soldiers 2 also, so that might be coming soon to the Switch as well. But this is a real-time strategy, think tower defense on a 2D plane, and yeah, it's very simple. It's one button press, and that's how you select your units, and they walk across the map. They only have one direction, so you're not guiding a bunch of units. It's just
Right.
very, very simple, but it's fun. There's some deep, like you can perform different spells, and you can select which units you want to use them on. And there's a whole campaign mode for the three different factions, but there's a fourth one that was added to this, and yeah.
Oh, cool. So
Yeah,
some news content as
there's a
well.
lot. There's a lot of content here actually, and it gets progressively harder. It's not overly. If you're more into the deeper strategy titles, then you might be disappointed. But I mean, for everyone else, casual, it's just fun to play.
It's a really good first game in that type of genre. Or if you don't have a ton of experience in it, it's really easy to get into.
Yeah,
Sword
yeah,
and Soldiers is.
yeah. It really is, and there's no online play, but there is local co-op, so
Oh,
that's pretty
cool.
cool. Yeah, and yeah, it has great graphics, charming music. Yeah, there's not much to say about it. I mean, like I said, it's just not too deep, but like I said, most people when they play want something more simple that you can just pick up and play. So
Yeah, what's there is good.
yep. And then finally, I've been playing a game called Reverie, and this is coming soon to the Switch, but I played it on the Vita, and I've been playing it on the Switch. So I'm going to hit on this real fast. But this is one of those games that you probably don't want to miss because it's really, really awesome. It reminds me of A Link to the Past because it has dungeons you explore, and there's all types of different equipment and things, but it's set like in like a earthbound setting. So you're just like a little kid going through, and oh, it's charming in every sense. It has a refreshing pixel art style.
Like it looks a lot like
Yeah,
Earthbound.
it pretty much, but instead of the turn-based combat, it's all real time and top down. The music is great, very charming. It's good. It would be a good title for the kids to get into.
Does it have like leveling, experience, grinding, or is it more classic like a
It's more
Zelda title?
classic Zelda. Like
Okay.
you get as you go through, you get different items. It has that Metroidvania type of thing going
Got
on
it.
where you unlock different areas by the items you get. And the world isn't that big, so you don't feel like you're backtracking too much, which is nice. It's more seamless, which I appreciated. And it's funny, the weapon you get like a cricket bat and a shovel, dart gun.
So they're all like real
Yeah,
world, which is
or
very much like
yo yo.
Earthbound and stuff.
Right, right. It takes the cues from Earthbound, only changes up the gameplay a little bit.
A
So
little quirky and stuff like that.
yeah, puzzles aren't too complicated. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's not very long either, so definitely one that if you're looking for that Zelda fix, old school Zelda fix type of game, it's worth checking out. Or if you want something more Earthbound related.
That's cool. It really depends on the type of game when I want to get into the classic Zelda style games. And it's been a long time since I've played a title
Yeah.
like this. I never checked out that Oceanhorn game. I never played that. So it's
Yeah,
been a while
that
since
one
I've
was
dug in.
okay. There was a really good one that came out. I'll probably have to fact check this because I want to get it right. But there was another one that was just like a top-down Zelda, maybe more old school, but that was
Yeah,
really cool.
that does ring a bell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Cool. Some good titles.
Yep. Yeah, I've been playing some good ones, fortunately. So let's see what's been rocking on your Switch.
Yeah, so I don't remember last week if I mentioned or how far I was in Cosmic Star Heroine, but I did finish that game and I know I gushed about it last week. And at the conclusion of that game, I think that it sits at the top of the 1632-bit RPG category. Right there with Final Fantasy VI, Chrono Trigger, Fantasy Star 4. I loved that game and
Wow.
I recommend it to everybody. I have been singing the praises over on the Switch Reddit thread whenever people are asking for RPG games, and I just absolutely loved it. It's the game that a week out, it's been about a week since I finished it. I'm
Yeah.
still thinking about it almost every day and wishing I was still playing it. So we'll see if I end up going back and doing like a new game plus run at it or something, because it does have new game plus and it does have harder difficulties and stuff like
That's
that.
cool. I like it when games do that.
Yeah, I
And the
just loved
game
it.
I was thinking of is called Blossom Tales.
That one. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
Blossom Tales. Okay.
Really good game. So,
Very cool.
mhm.
And then additionally, I got a code for Fight of Gods by Digital Crafter. If you look up this game on YouTube, it it is a fighting game that I can say best feels like Mortal Kombat 3, kind of looks like it too, where you've got your strong, it's a 2D fighter, one-on-one, where you've got your strong and weak punch and kick. The kicker here is that you are characters such as Zeus and Jesus and Moses. And,
So
it's
funny.
interesting. There's a
Buddha.
big old, yeah, Buddha. There's a big old disclaimer right up front that's like, yo, we're not here to make fun of it or anything. But yet the whole time I'm playing the game, I'm like,
Just like
are they making fun of it or are they being
sort of
kind of respectful?
sacrilegious.
Yeah, it's kind of right in the middle where I can't really tell what the theme is. It's a fairly bare bones game. You've got your one-on-one, and then you've got your classic arcade run up to the top, and so I've played through that a couple of times actually. It's fairly fun. It's simple. I
Yeah.
think we would love to try to do a let's play of it sometime, because it is definitely something that you sit on the couch with another person and start yelling at each other about what you're doing, and it's funny. It
Yeah,
would be really, really
it's
funny.
not like a serious fighter at all. I played a little bit of it. Yeah, I knew you played more, so you could hit on it more. But yeah, it's just very like was sort of what Mortal Kombat was, except
Yeah, exactly. Did you play as Jesus?
yeah, I had to play as Jesus.
Did you
I
see
just
his
had to
intro
see.
animation? He
Yeah.
comes down on the cross and then he breaks the cross off so that when he's fighting, he's got pieces of the cross
Yeah.
still attached to his hands.
It's so out of control, but
I mean, yeah, it's a
yeah.
little much, but it's like
It's
South
fun.
Park, right? You know what you're getting into.
Right.
I also played Heroes Trials by Radalaika, and this is kind of in a similar vein to a Secret of Mana or a more action RPG. It's still a top down. The art style is very PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. And it's a very straightforward game where you are swapping between either a melee character or a magic throwing character, and you get quests delivered to you through, NPCs, and then you go out to the cave and you accomplish the quest, and sometimes it's a room of enemies and sometimes it's hitting buttons to make doors open and things like that. And it's pretty okay so far. I think
Hmm.
I'm gonna do a video on that one, but I gotta play it a little bit more to see. I need to know, does the game expand a little bit more beyond the scope of what it's doing so far? So that'll
Yeah.
kind of decide how much more I play of it. Another one that I've touched on just a little bit. I finally bought Binding of Isaac when it was on sale for 50%
Ooh,
off.
you broke through
I
finally.
broke through. Yeah. That game is gross.
It's so
That,
disgusting.
that game is real
It's
gross. Like,
really disturbing.
I've always seen it and been like, that's really gross. But then you hear it and you hear like the splats and all the sounds, and it's just like, it's gross. But
Don't play with your kids around.
yeah, it is a top-down roguelike, twin stick shooter kind of thing. Where what is the story? It's like his mom throws him in the basement or something like that.
Yeah, she has a coming to Jesus moment, but of course, if you're really you wouldn't do that, but
Right, right.
but yeah, she locks him in and devotes him to God, and then it comes to a point where she's going to sacrifice him.
Right.
Like what was it? Oh man, I can't remember. Erica's going to get on me for not remembering that part of the Bible. Uh
Is it the binding of someone else?
no, it's the book in the Bible where he's gonna murder his son, but doesn't. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Spoiler alert.
yeah.
So
In the
so
Bible,
it's all randomized. I will say the level of polish on the game is great. In
yeah,
the runs that I've taken, I haven't seen any weird stuff happen from the procedural generation, which is very rare. My big complaint in the game right now is that I really dislike the way the weapons feel right out of the gate,
mm-hmm,
because they have like a spread to them. You point in the different directions and the tears that come out of his eyes.
yeah,
As you're moving, it takes into consideration your character's momentum and the direction you're pointing.
yeah.
So when you're facing the bosses, and it's very boss heavy, like you're
Oh yeah.
constantly going through different bosses, which are cool. So do you end up getting permanent improvements? You get different like character build outs, right?
Yes, and you earn different characters too by accomplishing different tasks,
Yeah.
and they all have different stats and abilities. But mainly, you learn as you play. You learn what items do and which ones you want to have and which ones you don't want to have. So, if you avoid certain ones you don't want, then you buy the ones that you do, or find ones that you want. Then you can build your ultimate character to make it a cakewalk. Um, I'm not sure how far you are, but it goes on for quite some time. Like the first major boss battle that you do, and the game ends. Then when you go back, it'll go further, depending on what you do. So I won't spoil anything for you, but yeah, it takes you to the depths of hell, even
Yeah,
pretty much.
I've heard that. I have
So
heard that. So I'm definitely gonna
yeah,
go back to it. The quality of the game is there. I wish it wasn't so gross, but I'm definitely gonna go back to it.
yeah.
Two more games, and these are the two that I want to make sure that we spend some time on this week. I impulse bought for $2.39 a game called Lazy Galaxy Rebel Story.
Mm,
Now I only see Lazy Galaxy mentioned, like shown on the art for the game. So I think the game's technically called Rebel Story by Cold Wild Games. Again, it was $2.39. It is a side-scrolling shmup, and it is great. It's really fun.
hmm.
I think I might put music from that at the beginning of this episode. It's all like really cool metal music,
That's cool.
but it is either a rogue it is a roguelike, but I guess it's kind of like Binding of Isaac in that way. You're not gonna get permanent upgrades a la Dead Cells or something where you permanently make your character stronger. Rather, you get different ships you can select
There's a
from.
there's a there's a game called Rebel Galaxy. I wonder if it takes the same formula to that. But that's more like in-depth like 3D fighter versus probably what this 2D shmup that you're talking about.
I don't know. Maybe it is the same thing.
Yeah,
But anyways, yeah, the thing that well, maybe Rebel Galaxy does this thing as well.
maybe.
It's what's unique about it is instead of getting well, you do get new guns throughout the missions, but you instead of having lives, you get allies.
Oh,
And so once you've unlocked a bunch of them, which after like 30 minutes you do, you select different allies, one of which will like every enemy you kill will heal everybody, or another one will do like area of attack damage. But the game's great. I really, really enjoy it. I beat the main story mode last night. You know, it takes like 30, 45 minutes to beat. But then there's harder difficulties that have more of the rogue-like stacking of different abilities, and it's a lot harder, and it really changes the game. And it's, just over $2. Like get the game if you like side-scrolling shmups. It's really fun.
cool.
It's not too hard, and I really enjoyed it. Finally, Dragon Marked for Death by Inti Creates. Have you bought this yet,
Yeah.
Josh?
No, you wanted me to, but I never did.
This is the most divisive game I think I've ever purchased in my life.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
So here's the thing, it is a side-scrolling action hack and slash kind of game. Inti Creates has made Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon,
Gunvolts, Azure Striker Gunvolt.
and that's what this is like. It's like an Azure
Okay.
Striker Gunvolt game more than
Oh,
anything
cool.
else.
Okay.
It's fast, get right up in the enemy's face, hack and slash, do
Great.
combos. Yeah, but it has tons of accessories and armor and equipment. You're always trying to get more money to level up those things and buy new equipment. You go back to a town, you select your quest, you build your character, you go do the quest. Here's the thing. When you play the game solo, the first level, let's say you've got 1,000 points to go from level 1 to level 2. Each level, you'll get 300 points towards your character at the beginning. You do it by yourself, it'll take you 27 minutes to do that. So that means, you're doing 3 or 4, you're playing for like an hour and a half or more to go up one level. You play
Wow.
online, it will six-tuple your experience earned, and the level will take 3 or 4 minutes.
Oh, so basically it's encouraging you to play.
I mean, it's an online multiplayer game, and
Yeah.
I don't know why they did that. And if they changed that aspect of it, I give it at least an 8 out of 10, and I say I recommend everybody should go pick it up. That being said, it is the best multiplayer experience I have had on the Switch online.
Well, that's good because everything else has been crap.
Yeah. It is flawless, dude. Like,
Good.
I have been very far away from my wireless router, being in handheld mode. I can find a game very quickly. Now, I will say it is hard. It's not hard, but there's only ever 1, 2, or 3 games available when I wanna play, but every time I go to play a game, there's always one available, and it never
Oh,
takes
great.
more than, like, 30 seconds to get into a game. It's fast, it's responsive, the community so far that I've worked with online is really good, they've got good tools to communicate with people, and so it's weird, man. Like, I want it to be a game that I can just sit down that way if I'm in the middle of a level, I can put the Switch to sleep and, move on from there, but it's not. And it says it is. And then it's got that whole it comes in 2 separate packages for $15, and that really sucks. So basically you can get the 2 melee characters or the 2 long range characters. And so everybody that you run in, it's just like
They should have included so it's one melee, one ranged with each.
yes.
That
For
doesn't make
sure.
sense. Yeah.
For sure. And like because of that, it's weird. Like the game doesn't recognize that there are two different SKUs. It really feels like they just did that at the last minute. The game looks like you should be able to pick from four different characters. And
Yeah.
even after I bought one of the two titles, when I go back and look at Dragon Marked for Death in the eShop, it shows that I've purchased both copies. Even though I only
Hmm.
purchased one, you have to buy it from within the game. Like it really feels like it was a greedy thing. Maybe they were going to
Yeah,
put the
that's
game out for $20 or $30 and they lost a little faith in themselves and said, "No, we need to split it to hit this price point." And then there's a $10 DLC and I haven't really looked into what it does. So that whole
yeah.
pricing model is really dumb.
Yeah, that's really disappointing because I'm mainly a single player gamer, so I don't want to be, and like you said, it's easy to use. At least the online's working well.
Yes.
But I just like playing things by myself sometimes, and that it has such a high barrier for leveling and all that. That doesn't
Yeah.
it seems more like a grind that I don't want to take.
Oh, like it's more than just a grind. It's almost impossible to play the game on your own.
Yeah, that sucks.
And so like if you and I or if, so you're listening and you think I will say the gameplay's great. It's really
Yeah.
really fun. It's a great hack and slash, big huge sprawling levels with multiple objectives and dynamic enemies and environments, and the bosses are really cool and the music's good, and like everything about the game is great. It's just two decisions that they made that seem to be just for financial purposes, to make you
Yeah,
want to play the game
definitely.
online so that people talk about it and tell other people to buy it, and then splitting up the game. Like make it $30 and get rid of that experience,
Yeah.
dumb stuff that they're doing. And then it's an awesome, awesome game. So, you know, if you have someone to play it with, I do think it supports local co-op as well. So if you have someone to play it with, then I say get it. But if you don't and you don't want to play online, then it's hard to recommend it.
Fair enough.
We'll see if I play that many games through the next week.
Big
But
list. Wow. As I'm doing all this, I have to have my Switch with me, so hopefully I'll get some more time to play.
hey, I mean,
Perfect,
with all the
perfect
stuff you've been
companion.
doing, yeah, with all the stuff you've been doing, it's great that you've had time to dig into a couple games still.
Yeah, yeah. Not much, but hey, I'm working here, so.
Well, and there were a lot of games that came out this week. So, Josh, you want to dig into what came out this past week and what's coming out next week on the eShop?
Why, yes, I do. And these are the games that are out now. You can go to the eShop right now and pick them up. First game we have is Evoland Legendary Edition from Shiro Games for $19.99. And this is two classic RPGs with styles that change as you play through them. And you start out black and white, and then you'll end in like this colorful, like 16-bit beautiful sprite-based artwork, and it goes from turn-based to active time and then the real-time battles. So as you progress, and by judging by if you watch the screens, it's really cool because it looks like three separate games.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, and
It
I
looks
really,
cool.
yeah, it's like the Adventures of Pip, where that was a game where you started off as like a little pixel, and then you turned into like a
Right.
4-bit, then 8-bit. So I like games that utilize that concept and that help you level up, and you can do different things, and that's really cool. Then next we have Dragon Mark for Death, and you can get both versions plus the DLC. This is from Any Creates, $15.99 and $9.99. Then we have Wargroove from Chucklefish,
Which neither of us have played.
yeah, I know,
That's
that's
like
crazy.
the top selling game right now.
That's the one everyone's talking about. So
No.
this is one that is a must buy for me. It's $19.99. And it's Advance Wars, the Advance Wars title everybody's been waiting for. And Chucklefish took the reins and said, "We're going to make this game." And
We'll make it if you won't.
yep, if Nintendo won't, we will. And
Yep.
it's getting great praise, so good for them. Then we have The Stillness of the Wind from Fellow
Can you
Traveler.
paint with all the stillness of the wind.
1104. And this is a quiet game of life and lost. It was featured in the Kind of Funny Game showcase, and it has a Stardew Valley, Harvest Moon type of gameplay. Um, yeah, it looked pretty cool though. Those I like those games that gain the traction with like the micromanaging of your farms and stuff. And yeah.
You ever played you ever really gotten into any of those style games?
No, they're not my cup of tea.
I haven't
Everybody
either.
loves Stardew Valley, but
Yeah, they sure do.
it's just more like a time seek that I don't want to do,
Right. Yeah, I don't get it. Same with like Animal Crossing and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, people are obsessed with Animal Crossing. Like
I've never gotten it. I've tried.
Yeah, I know. You give it the time, but it's just like this isn't fun for me.
And I'm always like, they talk so much. Why does everybody keep talking? I'm just clicking through the text, and then people are like, "No, that's the best part is the talking." I'm like,
Yeah, but why is this mole talking to me? Keep coming up with angry eyes.
Why does he want my leaves?
And then next we have Riot Civil Unrest from Merge Games, and this is $16.99. And it was actually created by one of the rioters in the No Tab protest in Italy, or what is that abbreviated as?
I have no idea. Hold on. Googling.
Yeah, Google it. This is a tower defense style game about real world protests, clashes, and it's based on civil unrest, such as the Arab Spring, Rome, Oakland, Paris, and that it has that message going for it. But I don't know how they really incorporate it, but looks interesting nonetheless. And then we have Sky Gamblers Afterburner, Atypical Games for $19.99. It's a jet fighter combat for those of you missing out on the Ace Combat games on the PS4. And it doesn't look as good as that, but it still looks impressive. And
yeah, it does.
I
wonder how well it runs, because when I saw the screenshots, I was like, "Woo, that looks pretty good."
Yeah, for $20, that's not bad either. So, gameplay we don't know about, so we might have to check on that. Magic Scroll Tactics from Mediascape is $11.99, and this is a side-scrolling tactical RPG that looks like the classics like Final Fantasy Tactics and Fire Emblem. So
it's weird, man. It's like when you look at it, it looks a lot like a Super Nintendo or PlayStation RPG art style, but when you see what's going on the screen, it looks like Darkest Dungeon. Like that 2D, really, it's all about where your position is and status effects and all of that kind of advantage stuff.
Yeah.
It's really interesting, but again, it's like with that anime JRPG style stuff. We should both try this game, I think. It seems like something that would be up both of our alleys.
Yeah. We probably have very different opinions on it too.
Magic Scroll Tactics.
Yeah, keep your eye on that one, folks. And then we have Commander Keen and King Dreams.
Oh my god, did you ever play these games?
No, I did not.
No? Oh man.
From Lone Wolf Technology for $9.99. I'm assuming you have then.
These are, oh man, I'm gonna get roasted if I'm wrong here. I'm pretty sure Commander Keen was originally developed by id Software.
Oh.
I think.
Huh.
Like years before Doom, I think. Let me see. But it's just like really old 2D platformer. Developed by id Software and 3D Realms. Like this was one of the John Carmack and John Romero created the game. I mean, it's OG. It came out in December 1990. And this game is kind of like a bunch of them rolled into one, I think.
Interesting.
Like my wife played this game with her dad, like back when she was, like 6 years old or something.
Wow. That's cool.
So interesting. Maybe I should make my wife play it and I'll record that as a Let's Play.
All right. We have Solstice Chronicles MIA for $13.49, and it's a sci-fi action twin stick shooter featuring co-op, a 20-level story, and a survival horde mode. Pretty neat.
Why is that so funny to me? You sounded like you could not have been more enthusiastic about it. It's like, oh yeah, another sci-fi twin stick shooter on the Switch. Yay!
Solstice Chronicles. It's going
Yeah.
MIA. Uh, and
All
how
right.
about we move on to games coming soon?
All
And
right,
this
let's
is
do it.
February 8th. We got Food Truck Tycoon from Baltoro Games. Another mobile port about managing a mundane career for $3.49. What else do they need to tycoon, you know? Like
Oh, ooh, that's a good one. What else can
like
they
a
tycoon?
maintenance tycoon, like cleaning the toilets and stuff, or
Like a yeah. I wonder if there's like a hot topic manager tycoon
there we go.
or like
That's everyone. That was everyone's dream back in
a
the day.
piercing pagoda tycoon. I just want a
A
tycoon where you're
tattoo
working.
yeah,
Yeah.
tattoo tycoon. That's hard to say. Tattoo tycoon.
There you go. That's
Tongue
definitely a
twister.
game. Owning a tattoo parlor, definitely.
Yep. Then we have City of Brass from Uppercut Games. And this is a first-person action adventure inspired by Arabian Nights from a senior BioShock developer. And it's got the whole, you have a weapon in one hand and then a spell in the other. And it looks very arcadey, more like a serious Sam style of game. Combat focused, and you progress through levels and take it one dungeon at a time. So, $17.99.
We also have Monster Energy Supercross, the official. And then there was an ellipsis on the eShop, and I couldn't find the name of the rest of the game. It wasn't written out anywhere else. It's like Monster Energy Supercross, the official ... and that's it.
We're very professional here.
Yeah, it's by Milestone, and it's $60.
$60.
But I gotta say, so it's like that dirt bike game, but it actually looks like like the graphics and stuff look really good. I'm impressed with what they did. Who knows how it runs, but if you're gonna buy a
I'm sorry,
energy
but that's
drink
not.
sponsored motocross game, that's probably the one you're gonna get this week. Also, we've got Stunt Kite Party by Handy Games, and this is the game that you should probably pull out when your grandma's like, "Why don't you just go fly a kite?"
I can on my Switch.
Yeah, but I looked at it, and from what I can tell, you'd be better off just like tying your Switch onto a string and trying to fly that. It's $10, and it don't look like it's worth it.
And kids, do not listen to that advice, or you'll have very angry parents.
Yeah, very angry parents. Don't flush their keys down the toilet either.
Right. Did that happen to you?
It happened in The Simpsons.
Oh, okay. Oh, next we have The Glass Masquerade. Welcome to the masquerade.
Why didn't they call it The Glassquerade? I feel like that was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, they totally blew it there. It's a relaxing puzzle game with an Art Deco jigsaws published by Digerati for $11.99. I've heard some good things about it, actually, as far as a puzzle game goes. Yeah. Access denied by Radalaka. What?
You said access denied, so I'm getting error sound.
It's like, what in the world? It's a bomb defusing puzzle game built to tease your brain. And of the 5 features they point out, one of them includes a realistic thunder and lightning sounds, all for $4.99.
It's got like in the description, it's like, 30 puzzle games, solve a puzzle with your friends, and then bullet 3 is
pretty much
realistic thunder and lightning sounds. Does lightning make sound?
No, thunder does.
Yeah, I thought so, right? But lightning doesn't do like or anything.
No, lightning's the actual,
right. And that's what I thought. So, anyways. We also have, I'm going to group 2 of the next 3 together.
Okay.
Because they're by the same group. 2 games by Digerati. One is Oniken Unstoppable Edition. And it's like Strider, Ninja Gaiden, Messenger. It's like that 2D cyber ninja game that's supposed to be really hard. That's $10. That's cool. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. And then they also have Odalus, The Dark Call, also by Digerati for $12, and this is like the Castlevania version of that.
Digerati's pumping them out.
Yeah, they are, and their
28th.
games are getting better. Ratalaika and Digirati are both
Yeah.
putting out better and better games, I think. So I'm interested in both Oniken and Odalus. Those both look pretty cool.
Yeah, awesome. And we have Doom and Destiny by Heartbit. Is a quirky 16-bit RPG about nerdy video game tropes for $11.99.
It looks cute. It's like Mario and Zelda jokes and stuff like that, but it looks like an old Final Fantasy game.
Cool.
Cute.
On February 12th, we have The Liar Princess and The Blind Prince. And this is by NIS America. And it's a puzzle adventure with two characters traveling through a forest with a dark gothic anime look. And if you're into NIS games, you'll probably like it. Side-scrolling adventure types.
And then we've got The King's Bird by Graffiti Games. It's a 2D platformer with a very dark art style, but it's still kind of similar to that watercolor look of Grease.
Yeah.
Camera's pulled back way further. It's about, momentum, physics, and getting across a big screen and huge
This is
gaps.
a pretty cool game, actually. It's come
Have
out
you been playing it?
before.
Oh, it has?
Yeah, it's come out before. I played a little bit of it there. I haven't played Gris, but it has that. You're right. It does have that same aesthetic and feel to it. Looks like so.
Rounding out the day of whatever that was, February 8th, we have Minesweeper Genius by Level 77, and it's Minesweeper just like you've had for free on your Windows computer since 1992. So,
but this has cute little graphics to it.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention you play as Aristotle.
Yeah.
So
there is that.
that.
February 13th, we have Iron Cryptical by Tiki Pod. And this looks like a Smash TV, really fun 4-player co-op mix of top-down action, gauntlet-style dungeon crawling, and it's only $8.99. So it could be a good time. But it's
also got like 2D Broforce style gameplay in it.
Yeah.
So it looks kind of like it's two games in one. I think this one looks pretty cool. Iron Cryptical.
I'll keep my eye out on that one.
Yeah, it looks pretty sweet.
Oh, we have Valentine's Day, the 14th. And guess what we have first? Tokyo School Life by P-Cube. And this is some kind of anime schoolgirl dating simulator. The women the really young looking women that shouldn't be the way they look. But it's $13.49. Yeah.
And there's that. We also have Nico Para Volume 2 by CFK, and good lord, it's another anime schoolgirl dating game, and it's $15. And then finally, we have Love by Mokuzai. Thankfully, it is not. When I saw that one after the first two, I was like, please don't be another anime. Anyways, it's not.
That's
it's
what
like
I thought.
Yeah. It's like a
When I saw the title.
4-bit platforming game that's supposed to be like really hard, like kind of like a Meat Boy or something like that. And this one's only a couple of bucks. The catch to it is that you carry your checkpoints with you.
Neat.
And you can only put a certain amount down. And I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool, like you got to be real strategic about when you're like, okay, this one might be the one that trips me up. Otherwise, you got to go like, way further back or something.
Yeah. They like you said, looks very primitive.
Yeah.
Then we have Touhou Sky Arena. From Matsuri Climax by Mediascape. These are the type of games that are catered to a specific audience that'll gobble them up. It's the $30 flying arena combat thing. All these games are different in some way. They encompass every genre, and this one has the anime schoolgirls.
Anime schoolgirls.
Yeah, and witches also. So stepping it up. Then we have Alvestia Chronicles and by Kimco.
I don't know if Kimco counts. They're definitely not as big as they were in like the NES or Super Nintendo days.
No, but yeah, they still come out with indie games, so we can count it. Okay. It's a retro RPG that looks like Suikoden style of having 100 recruitable party members. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. $12.99. So.
And then, oh god,
I give you the best.
Astrology and Horoscopes Premium by Crazy Soft is the latest digital title
Crazy.
to attempt to dig a deeper grave and kill every essence of integrity on the Nintendo eShop, as it uses this title to shovel one more pile of dirt into the grave.
That's beautiful.
It launches at $9 more than the price it should be. Similarly, Modern Combat Blackout, it's like $10 or something, and it's the Game Loft is the one that makes like 5 or 6 franchises for the iPhone that are all blatant ripoffs of like Call of Duty and other big AAA games.
Yep.
And like just play them on your phone. Don't buy these on the Switch. I don't care if it's free on the Switch. Don't get them. Don't do that. Don't support that.
I played a tank game on there that was like that. It was like, oh, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Then we have Ollie Switch Stance. Yeah, it's here. And it was developed by Gambitious, and it's $14.99 for both games. So really good deal. And if you haven't played it yet, this is the perfect time to pick it up.
Yeah, that's, that is just the type of game that will look awesome on the Switch, I bet. I mean, you've been playing it, but I bet those sharp lines and the styling and everything look really, and the bright colors, I bet that looks really good.
Yeah, I was playing on my plane, actually.
Nice.
Yeah. And then we have Hexamaze by Triva.
Doesn't that kind of sound like a medicine? Like, Hexamaze by Triva is known to cause certain symptoms
for erectile dysfunction.
No, the cure for erectile dysfunction's gotta be too.
Yeah, that's true. Just go to the top. It's a fun puzzle game, but again, I guarantee this isn't worth the investment probably from the looks of it. So
did you ever have you didn't have an Xbox 360, did you?
Yes, I did for a short time before it red ringed on me.
Yeah, okay, so you got an early one. So did you ever have Hexic on yours?
No.
The puzzle game? Oh, okay, because that's what this is like.
Okay.
It looks like a cool puzzle game, but I ain't gonna get that for $20.
No, thank you.
Next, we have Cinders by Crunching Koalas. We've seen these guys a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we've decided if they seem very
Are they legit, though?
Yeah. This is like a really spooky fairy tale point and click game on like this really goth, bizarro twist of Cinderella. That's not really my style, so I shouldn't really render a verdict on it. Strikey Sisters by DYA Games is a 2-player brick breaker breakout. You know what I'm talking about? That kind of game.
Yeah.
It looks pretty neat. It looks like it was made for the Super Nintendo.
We need more games like that.
Yeah, it looks really cool. For $10, Strikey Sisters. Keep your eye open for that one. I might pick that one up. It looks like fun.
Oh, yes, and finally, we leave the best for last. Guess the word. How about a guess the game that isn't getting any more airtime on this podcast? You know? They just keep coming. Gotta love it. And then Pet Care is also releasing on this day, and
but
that's all I have to say about that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
You can take care of a pet.
So we got a few good ones coming out. There's a lot of crap. I wonder, go find us on social media and all that stuff. Let us know, should we cover the crap shovelware games? Because they're starting to become...
It's getting pretty heavy here.
It's getting pretty heavy. Should we focus our time on having a shorter, trimmed podcast that only talks about things that could be great or that we know to be great? Or should we have a little bit longer podcast where we rip on some of these crap games? Let us know what you think.
Whether it's crap or not, we'll rip on it.
Yeah, right. Ripping the crap.
Rip it to shreds.
Ripping the crap. Guess the word. How about no, Scott?
How about no, Scotty?
Okay, so next we've got some good sales this week. A couple of games that we've recommended in the past, but Josh, why don't you take me on down to the eShop?
On down to the eShop. These are the games on sale this week. First, we have Robonauts for 94% off at 49 cents, so you can almost not go badly. At least this isn't a 1 cent deal.
Right.
That's really pathetic.
And it's got a demo. I've recommended it in the past. It's decent. For 49 cents, you'll get 49 cents of enjoyment out of it, I think.
And it can't be terrible. The next one is Super Beat Sonic, that's a Zonic as XONIC.
Yeah, what is that?
For 65% off for $10.49. And this is a really cool rhythm game. That's been on other platforms before, but it controls really well and it's fun. I played a little bit of it.
What kind of music is it?
It's the dance techno type of music. Synth based, some synth based stuff. Yeah, and yeah, I wouldn't even say that. It's all different types of techno. That maybe even some dubstep.
DLC. They've got a bunch of DLC packs on sale for $1.74 each as well, so they're all also on sale. So,
yeah, it's pretty good. Then we have Escape Dudeland. This is one that I talked about a few episodes back for 99 cents, and we actually had a Let's Play of it that you can watch.
Yeah, you can watch me see this game for the first time and crack up at it.
If you watch, like, what the heck are you playing?
Yeah, you watch our Nindie's year in review that we did during Extra Life. This game's hilarious, and it's 99 cents. Like,
hard as nails, but yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it is, but it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. And then Serial Cleaner. This is another one that took a unique concept of cleaning up crime scenes and trying to make it like there was nothing there. Stealth gameplay. I bought it, so I can't see the price.
It is 65% off for $5.20.
Okay. Yep, that makes it worth it right there. So
cool.
Yeah.
Before you get to the next one, I want to add in Road Redemption. If you aren't aware, this was a Kickstarted game that was sought out to reimagine Road Rash, the old EA series of games for the Genesis and Sega CD, and I think Sega Saturn. Maybe it came out on PlayStation 2. All I remember is if you played Road Rash and you set the controller down for the Sega CD, it, as a screensaver, would play Soundgarden's Black Hole Sun music video, and that was awesome in like 1995.
Won't you come?
But anyways, this game, what I've heard about it is like, yeah, it looks like Road Rash if it was developed like 6 or 7 years ago. Like, it's definitely not that great looking. And as long as you remember that, okay, in Road Rash, you do a race and then you do another race and then you do another race. It's not like this rich, detailed experience like we get nowadays. But as long as you know that going in, like, yeah, this is a modern-ish Road Rash, and it's 30% off for $13.99.
Okay, I've always loved Road Rash.
Yeah, man. Who
on
doesn't?
The Genesis?
Yeah.
Spent a lot of hours on that. Then we have Lifeless Planet for 50% off for $9.99, and I heard this is some people really liked it and others didn't, so you might want to research more on that. Then we have Sundered, and this is another one I can't see the price on
sale.
For.
Ooh, hold on, let me find it. It is 30% off for $13.99. Ooh, this is one that I've been wanting to get.
Yep, that's a worthy price. It's worth it for full price. Ooh, really stylized art style, Metrovania components. Really cool.
Can you remind me how much Last Galaxy Rebels story is? It's right above Sundered on the eShop right now. I think it was like $2, $2.39, I think.
$2.71.
$2.71. I was way off. Write your complaint letters too.
Lazy Galaxy Rebel story.
That game's cool. Buy it for $2.71. I
might do that.
Stake my flag in it. It's pretty fun.
Then we have Time Carnage, 50% off for $6.49. And Nero Voider. This was a cool game that has mechs as a twin stick shooter, sort of roguelike.
Have you played this?
I have. I don't have the price though, so you have to give me the price.
It's half off for $7, and this is
okay.
I was debating between Neurovoider and whatever the game is I just played. I can't remember anymore. Lone Rebel, what was it called? Lazy Galaxy Rebel Story. But I still think I might get Neurovoider. Will I like it?
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay.
I think it's sort of samey, and it
Yeah.
can get old fast. But I mean, it's fun. The gameplay is pretty good. So, um, then we have the Sparkle 2 Evo 90% for 49 cents. I think you played this one and liked it. Is that
Yeah, I
correct?
played the third one, but I looked up
Okay.
the differences between them, and there's like not really one. You're just like that little amiibo looking at it top down. It's very much like Flow for the PS3 and PS4 and Vita. If you ever played or saw those, you just kind of swim around and eat things and get bigger so you can eat bigger things, and it's like super relaxing.
Okay. Yeah, that's worth 49 cents. Rogue Aces is 60%, 510. This is a shooter. It looks like fun. It has a good, it might be easier than the others, so might be worth checking out. Then we have Joe Tune for 50% off for 749.
It was
And this
also
is,
made by the developer who made Sundered,
yeah,
right?
Sundered, right. Yep, and it has that same art style, only this one's more methodical and more boss rush type. But it's beautiful. I really like the game when I played it on the PS4. So,
And Nine Parchments is on sale.
meh.
When isn't that game on sale?
I think it's been on sale since it was released.
I think so too. Cool, man. Well,
Yeah,
let us know what you've been playing this week. Not you, Josh. I'm talking to the listeners because I already know
sure.
what you've been playing this week because we just talked about it.
Of course.
But for the listeners, find us on social media. Let us know what you've been playing. Let us know again about how much content, do we take this more seriously? Do we be a little dumb with it, etc.? And talk about the crap games. Should we mention things like Santa Tracker is on sale this week for 99 cents as well? Like, why? Why are we even letting that on the eShop? So you can find us on Twitter at Nindie Nation. You can find me at Nindie Jeff. You can find Josh at Minus the Brant, MinusTheBrant. I don't know why I spelled out minus and
Because
the.
I used to always spell it out on Life of Gaming. So you're
Oh,
taking my
that's
concept. Thank
probably
you.
I'm probably hearing you say it from the
All the
episodes I've
time.
listened to. Yeah.
Yep. And I did my first thing on the show. I bought a game while we were
Whoop whoop.
podcasting. And it was Lazy Galaxy Rebel Story.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, I had enough
Yay.
coins to make it a free purchase.
All right. That's it. You
Yeah.
bought a game on the show. You get the kid's tambourine.
Do, do, tsh.
Don't tempt me. I see all the other toys. They're just like right out of arm's reach.
Too many toys.
Don't make me do that again. And you can also find us on YouTube and Facebook. Search for Nindie Nation, and both of those. Try to get a couple more Let's Plays up there soon, but there's a lot of good content you can already check out. And we are hosted through. Where are we
What's
hosted
that?
through, Josh?
That old Nintendo Village place there.
Nintendo Village. What is that?
It's a great site full of great content, reviews, and articles, feature articles, a YouTube page full of plenty of content, and there's a lot of good shows. We're hosted by them, so go and check them out and support.
I just remembered that I messaged Gary, and like 3 or 4 days ago, he messaged me back, and I never responded.
I know. Like,
Oops.
what a dick.
Sorry, Gary. You just made me remember that. I'll respond to you now.
So he's like, I'm getting rid
Oops.
of those guys.
Next week, we'll be hosted by Squarespace. Sign up for your free trial.
we're on Patreon now, so yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us this week as we dove through the past week and the upcoming week of indie goodness on the Switch. As always, I'm Jeff. That's Josh. We're Nindie Nation. And until next week, keep those Joy-Cons charged and synced.